Eli Morgan is officially a Chicago Cub, and my first gut reaction to this trade was, hold on, let's see what we got. And then it was announced that Alfonsin Rosario would be heading to Cleveland in the deal, and my reaction really didn't change. It's still, hold on, let's see what we got. And I'm really not too keen on the fact that we traded Eli Morgan. He was one of my favorite relievers in the bullpen. He wasn't really a blow you away type of guy, but that changeup was magnificent. Probably one of the nastiest pitches throughout the entire MLB, and he will be missed. But you look at the bullpen in the shape that it's in, and maybe you can spare a reliever. But even with the depth of the Guardians bullpen, there are other relievers that I would have rather let go of instead of Eli Morgan. Like Trevor Stephan, who's coming off a major injury. I think the Guardians chose to stick with him pretty much because he's under contract for a while and they believe in him. He was really good when he was healthy. Probably one of the better relievers in the MLB, and I think that even though he had his ups and downs at some point, I think that the Guardians kind of believe in him to get back to being a contributor in the bullpen. You have Nick Enright and Franco Alaman, who were just protected to put on the 40-man to avoid them going into the Rule 5 draft. I think that the rationale here is that they have a higher potential than Eli Morgan. Also, they would be cheaper for longer, and their clock has not started yet on service time, so if you don't need them right now, it's a good option to just keep them in the minor leagues. But the biggest shock to me is that Nick Sandlin is still on this 40-man roster. I know that he was really good before his injury this year, but he was awful after the injury. I think the Guardians might be thinking that he could rebound, get back to his pre-injury form, but I'm not too hopeful, and I would have rather have Eli Morgan. But hey, let's say the Guardians valued Eli Morgan than all these guys anyways. They got something in return for him. I'm not in the MLB front office. I don't know if they could have gotten anything in return for those other guys. So maybe that's why they chose to give away Eli Morgan. So let's take a look at the guy that the Guardians got in return, Alfonsin Rosario. And from what I can tell, Rosario seems to be a bit of a lottery ticket prospect. He's the number 23 prospect in the Cubs organization. He's got big time power, good speed, seems to be a competent outfielder. The only problem is he does not have that contact tool. In 2024, Rosario played his first full year of pro baseball at Single-A Myrtle Beach. He had a strikeout percentage above 30%, but he also had a walk percentage around 12%. So he's doing a bit of the Joey Gallo thing. I've obviously not watched enough of his game to know where the problems are coming in. It seems that he has decent plate discipline due to the walks. It might just be that he has a swing and miss type of swing. But he might have been chasing so much that pitchers got too comfortable and ended up walking him too much. I honestly would have to look at the film, and I'm not really going to do that. I'll maybe watch him when he gets to Lake County. I'm assuming that he'll start the year in 2025 at High A Lake County. But even with the high strikeout percentage, he still had an OPS plus of 127 in 2024, which is pretty good. But really the biggest thing is here, this guy has big time power potential, and that's worth taking the risk on. He's still only 20 years old, and like I said, last year was his first full season of pro baseball. I think that adjustments can be made if he changes his swing or approach. I really don't know what the problem is, but if he can get that contact to be better, that big time power will be an insane tool and could propel him to be a big leaguer. My suspicion was that the Guardians needed to open a roster spot, and they highlighted the bullpen as being an area maybe that they can open that roster spot. They saw that Eli Morgan, being a pretty decent reliever, had some trade value, and they cashed it in for a lottery ticket in Alfonsin Rosario. But like I said, the Guardians' 40-man roster is back down to 39, so there is one open spot. I'm hoping, praying that goes to Shane Bieber. I guess we'll have to see in the coming days.